Welcome to the Wake and Bake podcast. We're posting here after the draft. I'm Quentin. I'm a Chargers fan. This is Pete. He's a Patriots fan. Ooh, he's got a shirt on today, too.
I do.
Nice.
Round one in the books.
We're going to talk about football. The draft just happened last night. So there is lots to talk about. The day we have all been waiting for, the day we've been clamoring for since basically the season ended. I mean, free agency is a big day, but draft day, yeah, it's a little bigger. A little bigger. All of our clubs it's like Christmas Day for a football club. It's literally Christmas morning. We get to wake up to our new presents.
Don't call them toys. It's not right.
I mean, maybe for OCs, but
I'm happy. I like Will Campbell. They didn't do anything crazy.
Yeah, going into the draft, me and Pete both felt like it was going to be the smartest. I'm a fan of the Chargers taking Joe Alt, spending their number 5 overall last year on Joe Alt, the consensus top tackle. And, so that worked out for the Chargers, and Patriots needed some help on the O-line. That's putting it lightly. There's only one place you can get an elite tackle in the NFL, because I was making this point to another Patriots fan that goes to Midway. I don't think
wasn't in the Will Campbell camp.
Well, he wasn't opposed to it. He's like, yeah, we definitely need a tackle. But the average NFL fan is not cognizant that,
of how much the O-line affects the team.
Well, they know. I think even the average NFL fan does appreciate the O-line, in that, dude, we need better O-line. And you got it. I think even the average NFL fan believes in building through the trenches. That's not a well-kept secret in the NFL. But
yeah.
How do you get great trench play? How do you get great players on the trench? And the thing that they're not aware of is that, I really wasn't aware of it until really last year when Sycamore pointed that out. Trevor Sycamore from the Stock Exchange podcast, he's just there's only one place you can get a top level tackle. They don't hit free agency ever. Those guys are with a club for their entire career. It's just so there's the only way you can get your hands on one is by having a really bad season and getting into the top half of the draft.
Yeah.
It's the only place. It's your only chance to get that guy.
I also think it's one of those lines that the casual NFL fan likes to say but doesn't actually want to implement. Build your team through the trenches. It sounds like, it's like wear your seatbelt in your car. Everyone says you should do it, but does everybody do it? No.
Absolutely. It's not. Look at that. You know what? So the Chiefs, when the Chiefs got their pick, I was calling Simmons was the last tackle on the board. I'm like, they have to take Simmons.
There's him, and then there's Connerly is still there. But
is
Simmons was arguably
I think Connerly got taken.
Or Ursery. One of them is still there. I think it's Ursery.
Simmons was higher rated.
Simmons could have been the number 1 tackle in the draft if he didn't have this big injury, which is a big...
He has some injury stuff?
He had a major injury last year that he's still recovering from. He won't even be ready to play till August.
So it's a significant injury.
Yeah, it's like a torn Achilles or something.
Okay.
Or a torn knee. torn knee.
The knee I would be worried about.
Which they're like, he might, being a big dude, he might not ever come back from. Because
knee and a tackle
I think just re-tear it up.
Knee and a tackle is a big deal just because there's so much weight.
Which is why the Patriots
so much power.
couldn't take him. They couldn't like trade back later in the first round and take him on that risk that they need a starting left tackle.
No, health is going to be a big deal.
On September 8th or whatever the first game of the season is.
So, I mean...
But the Chiefs have that luxury of, if he works out, he's a stud left tackle, and that's awesome.
It wasn't a luxury for them. I mean, it's the guy they had to take because they need a tackle. Like, they lost... Didn't they lose Tooney, too?
They did lose Tooney to the Bears.
And that was a guy that was a guard that they shoved out at tackle because he's a Pro Bowl guard.
I mean, they do need a tackle, but they also still have a good team.
But I mean, here's the point I was trying to make is like Kansas City had to take a tackle. They had to take a stab at it. And I mean, this is a guy with an injury concern. How many tackles can we name? It's possible to get like a diamond in the rough when it comes to tackle. But there's very few of them. I can't name one, okay? I can't name one. Lane Johnson is one of the top tackles in the league. He was taken in the top of the draft. Penisuel, like you name it. You go through the top of the list of top 10 tackles, all these guys are drafted in the top 10.
I mean, the only one I can think of is, way back in the day in the Patriots dynasty, Matt Light was like a 3rd or 4th round tackle that ended up winning out the job in training camp and being the day one starter, which is like...
There's an exception, there's your diamond in the rough.
But that was 25 years ago.
Yeah. One guy in 25 years. I mean, I'm sure there's been more than one, but man, they're very, 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 very few. Very far in between. So, yeah, the Jags moving up to get Travis Hunter, that was wild. I don't know that was necessary.
I mean, it was if you wanted Travis Hunter, because he wasn't going to go to 5. But they gave up the second round today. They gave up next year's first, and they swapped some late round picks. I don't remember exactly.
I mean, essentially what happened is they swapped their seconds, I think maybe the 3rd and the 4th, which is significant because...
Well, they didn't swap them; they gave them to him. They swapped the firsts yesterday, but then they gave them
the Jags. The Jags got rounds.
No, they gave them the 2nd round this year and the 1st next year.
I mean, I researched it pretty heavily when it happened.
And then they got a late round pick. They swapped late round picks and the 1st round picks.
And it was essentially an extra 1st next year. That's what it looked like when I was looking at it yesterday.
And a 2nd today, which is why the Browns have 2 seconds right now. And they have 2 picks in those first 5 picks.
I still think the Jags have a 2nd round pick.
They do not. But if the Browns have 2 picks in these first.
I'm looking up the 2nd round, the draft order right now.
And if they don't take Shador might fall just forever.
Oh my God. Come on. Okay, yeah. But let me see here.
It's the first time somebody traded into the top 2 picks and didn't take a quarterback.
Yeah, it doesn't appear that the Jags have a pick in the second round.
Yeah, because they gave it to the Browns.
The Browns do have 2 picks to start the second round. Well, and then yeah, it's like next year's first.
Yeah. I mean, that was the main part of it, was this year's second and next year's first.
Jeez. That's a lot, man.
Yeah. So I'm saying he has to play both ways. He has to be 2 players worth of awesome.
I mean, I'm saying like Jags doing Jaguars things, dude. Jeez. Whose idea is that?
I mean, they have a brand new owner and they have a brand new GM. Who their GM is like 34. He learned under Les Snead.
Well, they got Liam Cohen from the Bucks, and then Liam Cohen picked his GM.
Yeah.
They fired Trent Balk. I'm not impressed. If I was a Jaguars fan, I wouldn't be happy with that.
No. They gave up too much.
I'd be like, what are you doing? We have so many positions of need. Why? For a cornerback, I mean, that's a move that's the kind of move you make for a quarterback, and that's it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he has to play both ways now, because otherwise, just playing corner is not good enough.
That was.
So we'll see.
I think that's yeah, that was a really dumb move by the Jags.
And the Browns, I feel like, are just still rebuilding for the future.
I mean, the Browns were smart, but pulling the trigger, it's like, sure. Like, they need lots of good players. Why not? Good players win games, man. Like, stack them up deep. You know, they'll have an extra first round pick next year, and the Jags are probably going to suck again.
Yeah. So it'll probably be a good pick.
So it'll probably be a good pick, which will get them their quarterback.
Yeah, if it's a top 10 pick again, then
exactly.
They have 2 top 10 picks, which is what the Bears had last year.
They're going to get their quarterback.
Right.
Because they didn't draft one this year, so they're going to have to draft one next year. So they're locked in, pretty much. I doubt. I don't expect much out of Jacksonville this season.
No.
Especially with the way they just treated the draft.
I don't expect much out of the Giants either.
Not expecting much there.
How do you feel about the Chargers pick?
You know, to me, there were. If we talk about offensive playmakers in the draft, elite level offensive playmakers, there was Loveland, Warren, maybe McMillan, maybe.
Who went early?
Who went way early.
What, 7?
he's kind of on that fringe. You could argue about him.
Yeah.
But Genty and Hampton were bona fide elite level playmakers in this draft. There were 4 of them in this draft total. Game wreckers. And we got one.
All right.
I don't think that was the pick the Chargers wanted. I don't think they were planning on going running back.
Yeah, a late first round running back pick.
But I mean, there was a lot of guys earmarked for the Chargers for Charger fans. McMillan was a candidate to fall to 22. Harmon and Grant, everybody thought that was a lock for one of those 2 guys, or both of them, to be available.
Well, I mean, everyone had the Steelers penciled in to take a QB, and they didn't. They took Harmon.
So I mean, we talk about shocks of the draft. The Bears taking Loveland ahead of Warren where they did, that was a huge shock.
Yeah.
Huge. And personally ruined my draft, okay? Because I was like ready to buy my Loveland jersey, man. Like,
You did. You called me when it happened. You were like, Loveland's gone.
I was so upset. Because here's the thing, it's like they already have Komet. Like they didn't need another Komet. Komet's a Loveland type.
Yeah, he's a solid
athletic
tight end.
Tight end, yeah. Like what the hey, man? God, dude. Like you got other needs on your team. I think Membo was there, like.
No, Membo had gone to the Jets.
Oh yeah, the Jets took Membo, which is smart.
Which was smart. They need a right tackle. It's perfect for them. But I mean, in Chicago, you got the new coach Johnson, who wants to. He's the offensive guru. The new.
I mean, he had Laporta,
and he wants to.
He had Laporta.
Build that offense. You know.
Having 2 excellent pass catching tight ends isn't going to be a bad thing if you're an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
It allows you a whole bunch of creativity. But yeah, so Loveland was gone. Then the Steelers taking Harmon right in front of us. I really felt, I mean, that's going into our pick. It was like, oh, dude, we're getting Harmon. Harmon's got to be the pick.
Right.
Grant's gone. McMillan's gone. Loveland's gone.
Yeah.
Like, all the other guys we had earmarked as like prime targets. Like, we're going to get one of these guys. We're
like,
gone.
right, get some defensive line help. That'll be all right.
We're gone. Yeah. So I was just like, dude, Harmon. Yeah. I was like talking about it. Like, dude, I'm stoked. We're going to get Harmon. Like, this is going to be great. Because I was just like, the Steelers are taking Shador. That's what everybody. They had the camera on Shador Sanders. You know?
Yeah, when it was the Steelers on the
clock. Yeah, when it's
the
Steelers, everybody's like, this is we're going to watch Shador go here.
And they're like, why are they taking so long?
The NFL Network posted a statistic, like draft predictor. They have like a computer draft predictor. It was predicting 96%
that it was going to be
Shador. 96%.
That predictor just lost a lot of cred, huh? Really blew its average on that.
And I mean, Cam Hayward's getting older. I mean, granted, they're going to have that duo for a couple seasons. Cam Hayward and this dude next to each other. Jesus.
Yeah, maybe one of the nastiest.
D-tackle. Yeah, D-tackle duos. Jesus. Have fun with that. My God.
But then, yeah, all those offensive tackles all went in the team, like, before 22 as well.
I mean, there was kind of a run on offensive lineman, period. Booker was gone. Zabel went.
Booker and Zabel both went in the top.
Zabel was a guy that I was like, Zabel and Booker.
You would have been happy with one of those guards. Yeah.
Zabel and Booker were both guys I talked about. Like, don't be surprised if the Chargers go and bag themselves an elite guard / center prospect, like in the first round. And they didn't make it. Zabel got taken second. Booker, that's kind of crazy. Booker got taken over first. Zabel, and Booker went really early.
Yeah, he went at like, I don't know, 12 or 13, I want to
say. So Booker going, that was actually...
Yeah, Booker went 12 to Dallas.
That was a pretty big curveball. So Loveland being taken by the Bears, Booker... The Raiders just taking Genty.
Yep.
Not surprising, but I really thought they were going to be in the market. Boy, do I have egg on my face about 4 QBs going in the first round.
I know, right? Who knew?
Oh man!
I mean, nobody thought that Shedeur was
my bold prediction was horrifically wrong.
I mean, I heard a couple people messing around saying that if Shedeur didn't go in the top 4 or 5 picks, that he might fall out of the first. But I thought that was crazy.
Oh, the second QB, Dart.
Yeah, the Giants traded back into
the Giants traded back into the first round to come grab Dart.
Which again, I think they had to give up next year's first for that, or something, like a lot for that.
I mean, so do you know why you trade back into the first round for that?
Because you get the 5th-year option on a rookie deal.
You get an extra year because they're a first-round draft pick.
And on an expensive position like QB, I mean, it's worth it for anybody, really, but definitely worth it for an expensive
I mean, they've
position.
got a good QB room there. They've got a hungry first-round rookie, 2 experienced veterans, Winston and Russell. They can start now, you know.
Well, Giants fans hope they're okay at QB.
Not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, Jets grabbed Membo. Yeah, the Panthers taking McMillan. That was crazy. I was thinking they were going to take Javon Walker because Javon Walker was the BPA, best player available.
Yeah.
And that guy slid like crazy.
He did.
The Saints taking a tackle. Banks, too. That was crazy.
Right. Who else?
Nobody had the Saints. Everybody had the Saints taking a QB.
Taking a QB, and they took a tackle.
Did that really?
Which I don't hate. Last year, the Patriots needed a QB and a tackle, and they had an awesome QB available, so they took the QB as that's more important. And they didn't get a tackle, and it was hard to watch.
Yeah.
But this year, the Saints need a QB and a tackle, and the tackle was the better option instead of reaching on one of those QBs that aren't first-round picks. You know?
I mean, I suppose so. That was their. I agree. That was probably their calculus. Bears, Loveland, Niners, Michael Williams, who's an edge. Cowboys take in a guard. I mean, there was a run on linemen, period.
Yeah. I didn't see, I mean, how many was it? One.
Tackles, interior linemen. There's kind of a run on interior linemen, too. Kenneth Grant went to the Dolphins.
Six offensive linemen went in the top 25.
I didn't see the Dolphins
taking
taking an interior defensive lineman. Bengals took Shemar Stewart.
I mean, that's good for them.
Who's a guy that, like, not impressed with.
Yeah, but I mean, they need some firepower on defense. Their defense is.
Well, Hendricks wants a new contract.
Hendrickson wants a new contract, but the defense as a whole was bad, like really bad. They had multiple like 30-plus point games that they scored and lost. They lost multiple games when scoring 30 points.
Yeah,
which is just that's unacceptable.
I think the Bengals are just going to be a train wreck next season. Cannot believe they spent that kind of money on those wideouts.
Yeah.
None of the rest of the team.
Right. Which is why they had to draft defense. They might have to draft all defense.
Then you got the Seahawks taking Zabel, which they were kind of pegged that they would take Zabel.
Right.
A lot of mock drafts had them doing that. The Buccaneers took Igbuka. That's kind of crazy because they still have Mike Evans. They've got Godwin.
Yeah. I mean, Evans is getting up there. He's only got a few years left, but
yeah. I mean, that's a nasty three-headed monster right there.
That is.
Because Igbuka was a receiver that was on the Chargers' radar too. Him and McMillan were kind of my favorites if we drafted a wideout.
I mean,
it was going to be those two. I don't like Golden for some reason.
As a Patriots fan,
I don't like Golden.
I'm not ever set on a first-round receiver who's not a Marvin Harrison or a Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
Like, who's like a bona fide blue chip receiver who's going to go in the top 8. That's fine, but
I'm not a fan of doing it.
I'm not on a number 20 receiver.
I'm not a fan of doing it.
Patriots have been burned too many times on that.
Yeah, I agree. It's too volatile.
Yeah.
Well, especially a top 10 pick. Like, I get it in the middle to late first round.
I'm saying that's when I don't like it. In the top 10, they're usually okay. Because they're usually, like, the best player in the draft.
Yeah. The Broncos taking Jahdae Barron. That was crazy. I really thought Hampton was going.
Yeah.
It's like, the Broncos are going to take Hampton.
Let's take Hampton.
You know, we're not getting our hands. That was another thing. Yeah, going in. So the Broncos and the Steelers were picking right in front of us. I'm going, Harmon's our guy. The Broncos are going to take Hampton. The Steelers are going to take Shador.
Right.
Like, we got Harmon.
Then you get Harmon. Yeah. But no, I can't believe the Broncos went cornerback.
The Chargers let the time on the clock on their pick extinguish. So I really do think they were trying to move back.
Yeah.
Supposedly the Eagles, because the Eagles did end up moving up one spot with the Chiefs, which is very confusing to me.
That's just the old, we're going to take your guy.
Why?
Unless you give us something.
I know.
What's that guy worth to you? Because we're going to take him.
You think the Chiefs did that?
Yeah. I mean, that's the only reason to do it. Otherwise, it's like
you think that's what was going on?
Take the other guy. Yeah. And you don't get much for it. You get like a late round pick swap. You know, like.
But yeah, the supposedly the Eagles were trying to move up to 22. And I could have seen the Chargers moving back to the end of the draft. Why not? But the Eagles didn't want to pay the price. Ortiz is he's a cool customer. He wants his price.
Right.
And if he doesn't get his price, he just says, okay. So I think that's definitely what happened. Is the Eagles weren't willing to pony up. I mean, they said it in their draft conference. Chargers are like, we took our BPA, pretty much. We got a great player.
Yeah.
I mean, Hampton was on like 13th overall on a lot of big boards. 15 or higher.
Yeah, a lot of people had him high. I mean, he was a
hair under Genty.
He was the undisputed number 2 running back.
I mean, he was almost kind of like a 1A, you know, like, or 1B.
Yeah.
Like everybody had Genty 1A and Hampton 1B. Both these guys are like Saquon level players, you know, basically, is what they felt. Any other draft, and Omarion is the top back in the draft. He just happened to be paired with Genty, who had a monster season.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he had a monster season, and I'm not questioning Genty. I'm just saying he played at Boise State.
Yeah, true.
You know, like, and yeah, he had a great bowl game against Penn State or whatever it was, but outside of that, like, you're running over SDSU and New Mexico. Like, how many great defenses are you running over? Like,
right. Giants moving back up to get Jackson Dart. Crazy. But look at that. The Vikings took a guard. There's another interior O-lineman. Donovan Jackson. That's a huge reach. I don't think that guy was supposed to go in the first round. Tyleik Williams. That guy wasn't supposed to be a first rounder. Defensive tackle. Interior O-line and defensive tackle really got a good run.
They did.
Those got hit hard.
I don't remember another first round recently where that many guards.
Yeah, O-line, interior O-line.
O-line in general, yeah. But the tackles make sense. But
tackles always go.
That many guards, like, it's crazy.
Tackles go, but yeah, there were guards. That was unexpected. The defensive tackles were expected, but the combination was just like, dude, all line. Talk about trenches. Maxwell Hairston, that cornerback, like, that's kind of a reach. That guy, I don't think he was supposed to go first round.
I mean, they can't all go in the first round.
Barron was expected to go in the first round, but not this Hairston kid.
Right. But it leaves an awful lot of good best player availables for this beginning.
There's a lot left.
For the beginning of the second round.
Oh, man.
A lot of good available
A lot of
players.
BPA, dude.
Yeah.
So I was telling Brian that.
I'm happy about that.
I was telling Brian that. I was like, dude, there were a lot of reaches That's going to push a lot of these BPA guys into the second round, and that's good for the Chargers.
Right.
Because we're going to get our pick. There's going to be a lot of guys there that shouldn't be there. You know, with all the reaching that's been going on. It's been reach heavy. Like, the BPA is going to start to win out. Mike Green is still there.
Mike Green, a lot of people had him in the top 15.
He's a top 10 player. He was ranked 10 on the overall.
Yeah.
According to the Athletics. I mean, talk about a slide. Him and Shedeur are the slides of the draft.
Of the day, yeah. I mean, unless he has some off the field issues that I don't know about.
Shedeur or Green?
Green.
Green does.
He does? Okay.
Green does. That is why he is sliding. He's got some criminal stuff.
Okay.
Some real bonehead stuff.
Surprised the Eagles didn't take him. It seems like an Eagles.
Oh, man. I was sitting there going, dude, the Eagles are going to take Human Worry. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The Eagles are going to take Human Worry. Oh, my God. That secondary is going to be... Now they got a Derwin.
Well,
with
the Ravens,
Quinion and Cooper DeJean, like...
The Ravens took Starks.
Yeah.
Which is a very Ravens pick of...
I mean, the Ravens already have a Derwin. They got Kyle Hamilton.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. Now they have two.
Yeah, why not take two?
Now they have a nasty safety tandem. But I mean, the top of that second round picks.
So Will Johnson's there, Mike Green, Human Worry, Shedeur Sanders.
It's Browns, Texans, Titans, Browns, Raiders, Patriots as the first 6 picks.
So who are the Patriots going to take? You got some great players there, dude.
They're hopefully they're taking the best player available. But you got to assume that the Browns are going to take...
Yeah, but I'm asking you who you want.
Who I want? If the safety, Umanyori, is still there, I want him.
Man, the Browns. God, if I'm the Browns, what am I taking? Dude, you're the first one, and then you got another one.
The first and the fourth.
Who did they take with their... in the first round?
The tackle from Michigan.
Graham. So they already got a defensive player. Mike Green is there. I mean, that'd be crazy. Double up on the line. Will Johnson, who could be a fantastic cornerback. Nobody knows. His stock took a big hit because of his health. But the season before, when Michigan won the national championship, like, that guy, if he would have gone into the draft that year, he would have been like a top 5. He just dominated the season.
Yeah.
Will Johnson did. Like, his tape is nuts.
I mean, ESPN has him as the best player available.
Yeah. So
the Patriots do not really need a corner. More that they would. I would take one of those D linemen or Umanyori. It's gonna be fun.
I mean, if I'm the Browns, I'm taking Human Worry and Will Johnson. That's a nuts load up. Both huge value. Huge values.
Huge value there.
Like, all that money you just spent on Garrett, you recoup that money by drafting 2 premium positions at tremendous value. These guys were supposed to go in the first round, or even Mike Green. But you just spent some draft capital on the line. I wouldn't double down on the line because you've got Garrett and Graham.
Yeah.
Even though edge is a premium position too at this point.
I mean, you got to think that Garrett has his one contract left. And then he's going to be over the hill, which is the extent of a rookie contract right now, you know?
But getting 2 first-round
level defenders
at a premium position, where they're at, oh my God.
I mean, they just need help on offense, though. Like, it's tough to go all defense.
So who would you want? Like, who are you rooting for to fall to you? Because you're right there.
For the Patriots?
Yeah.
Like, the top of my list is Omarion.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
That would be
if they're
me.
going to keep reaching, if other teams are going to keep reaching on other guys, he can fall a couple more spots.
I don't know. I mean, for me, okay, if I'm a Patriots fan, yeah, either Mike Green, Omarion, or Will Johnson. Give me any of them.
Yeah.
But Omarion might be my favorite because, like, the idea of a Derwin James and a Vrabel defense, like, dude, such a tool. He enhances the whole defense. Because he is a guy that you can, I mean, that's the way he was used, was like all over. Slot corner, like nickel, dime backer in the dime package, like.
I mean, I said it before the draft. It was a sneaky need for the Patriots is safety because they have Peppers and Duggar, who is a very good tandem, but like they struggled at a true free safety.
Having a safety like that you can put on a tight end, like that guy's big enough to cover a tight end and fast enough. Like he can erase a tight end. That's what Derwin does for the Chargers. You have an elite tight end, Derwin can erase that guy. I mean, we were talking about the value of an elite tight end. Like they're too fast for linebackers, too big for the DBs. You've got really specialized, isolated cases where no, there's a player that can do that on my team.
Yeah.
And he's a huge safety. You got to have a Derwin. And Omarion that guy. Those guys don't come along. Very, very, very rarely. Very few of them exist. Less than 5. You know? In the whole league. I don't even know that there's 5. I mean, you got Derwin and Kyle Hamilton. Who else is that kind of build? Who can do that? 6'3", 230, 240, athletic freak. Safety.
I mean, that's what Kyle Duggar is.
Huh?
That's what Kyle Duggar is on the Patriots.
Is he?
He's just not.
Is he that big?
Yeah. I mean, he's a big hitter. He's just not as good in coverage. He's not on the level of Derwin in coverage.
Yeah. Let me look at the big board here.
But I mean, yeah, or one of those defensive linemen. I mean, one of them will be there for sure, because the Patriots need pass rush help in a big way.
So, big board, yeah. Will Johnson, Mike Green, Umanwori, Izaraku. My buddy Brian loves Izaraku. And actually, he had the Chargers taking Izaraku.
At 21?
At 22, yeah. That's how high he was on him.
Wow.
He was like, dude, that was like his bold prediction was like, we're going to take Izaraku. I was like, ah.
Sounds like a Cole Strange pick to me.
Yeah. It's like, all right.
I mean, the Browns could shock everyone and just take more defense because there's so many good defensive players right there. You know, if they pass on a QB, you know, and just say we're going to build the defense, they could do that. And it would be weird. But that would shift that big board really dramatically.
Hey, I accidentally left my office phone at the house. Could you send the egg count and stuff over to the shop phone here? Thank you, sir. Ready? Wait. Darius Alexander. That's a guy that should be on your radar. You know about him?
No, what?
He's a bad boy. Defensive tackle.
Yeah.
If you get that guy from Toledo, so the only thing that hurt him was that he's a small school.
Right.
But yeah, he's a big bad boy. Pass rusher. (6'4", 305). I mean, dude, yeah, you team him up with Milton on that defensive interior line. Woo-hoo-hoo! Boy,
yeah.
You got some juice.
I mean, because right now they got Milton and Christian Barmore just has the blood clot thing that
I would be. So as a Charger fan, I'm rooting for him to fall. Like
yeah.
Darius Alexander, if he falls to us at 55, oh man, that's a value. You know?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, you wanted some interior D line in round one in Harmon and didn't get him. So.
Yeah, so I've shifted to, I mean, before this analysis that we're doing right now,
yeah.
last night I was going, okay, next round, give me Alfred Collins, who should be there. That's a guy that's supposed to be there.
Right.
Not a guy that could fall. And then Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor is the next tight end. He shouldn't fall, but I was advocating last night, like, because there's so many BPA guys available, like, there's a chance Taylor could get pushed down to us.
Right.
You're saying there's a chance. I mean, we do have that working for us because there's a lot of BPA working for us at this point.
There's a lot of BPA. There's also a lot of, so many of these guys at this section of the draft are so similar that different teams' boards are going to be different. So it's going to look like a reach to us, but it's not a reach to them. You know, like the difference between number 40 and number 80
I mean,
It's not that much different.
That's what's been happening all draft is
Right.
just everybody's just like, I don't care BPA. I'm just going to grab my guy.
Well, it's their BPA. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, their BPA.
It's their BPA.
Yeah, not the big board BPA.
It's
Yeah, those are
because
very different things.
So many of these guys are so similar.
Travion Henderson, still there. But you think they're happy with their back. Vrabel likes a good running back. Yes, he does.
Do you think the Patriots take good go running back at
I think
two?
it's a possibility. Travion Henderson is a great back, dude. He'll be there. Well, on this board, they've got Elijah Arroyo graded over Mason Taylor. Which is, I mean, that was the next tier, so that's not shocking. Matt Money Smith, the Chargers play-by-play. He does the official Chargers Weekly podcast, and he was saying, he's like, the chatter I was exposed to at the combine, and he's like, a lot of he was saying that he feels a lot of the NFL has Mason Taylor like right there next to Loveland and Warren.
Yeah.
Like they felt like the media big boards don't reflect how NFL clubs feel about Mason Taylor. They really, really, really like that guy. Almost Loveland Warren level.
Yeah. Well, plus the media boards don't have time to go too deep into one position. Certainly not a position like tight end.
So, Matt Money believes like Mason Taylor's going like off the board like first 5 picks. There's no way he's gonna fall. Jaden Higgins. Did you watch any film on Jaden Higgins?
I did, and
I like that guy as a wideout. He's big, not huge.
I like him. I like Luther Burden.
Do you?
Yeah. I think the Patriots could use
I didn't watch
him.
any Luther Burden,
But
he's the top graded wideout.
He's a big, fast outside guy. The Patriots are like,
He's
that's
big?
like the main thing they need.
What's his size?
Six foot 206.
Okay, yeah.
So not huge,
6
but-
foot. Yeah.
But I mean, he's a solid receiver, like outside receiver.
Trey Harris was a guy that is on my wide receiver radar. Sevenia. If the Chargers go guard, they'll probably get this Savania guy. He should be there. So, yeah, if Alexander falls, they're going to take Alexander. Savania should be there. Collins should be there. Collins is like a Chris Jones build. It's just a huge dude who's really athletic. So I'd be really happy if we got him. Or Mason Taylor. If Mason Taylor falls, tight end, settled. If we have Mason Taylor and Conklin in our tight end room, like I feel good about the pass catch. Like we've got a pass catching threat. Legit pass catching threat. Tight ends. We need that.
Yeah.
If we miss out on Mason Taylor,
then you're taking a pass on tight end.
I mean, the risk just goes up. I think we'll probably take Fannin. You know? Or Ferguson.
Which even for a deep tight end class, which this is, how often is the sixth tight end taken still playing in the NFL in 2 years? You know?
You know what? Since we took happened to take a running back first round, the need went up for tight end and defensive interior.
Or offensive interior.
So today, that's what we're drafting. Because it's 2 rounds today, right?
Yes, it's second and third round.
It's going to be some kind of combination
and the Chargers
of DT.
Do they have 2 picks? They have 1 in each round.
Yeah. We've got a second and a third. It's going to be some kind of combination there, tight end or defensive interior. That's what we're getting today. If we get something else, it'll be shocking. Because there's going to be some good edge players there. And we do need edge. But the thing is like, tight end, we need a starter. Defensive interior, we need a starter. Like, those 2 picks are going to start this year. If we draft an edge, he's not starting this year.
Right.
He's not starting over Thule and Mack. And Bud Dupree, by the way. Like, this guy's going to be a backup. He doesn't make our team better on game day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Unless one of those guys goes down.
Which the Chargers...
Which could happen.
Because they're trying to go over the top and make a run in the playoffs.
You need guys that can contribute.
Yeah.
Like, so that is a factor to me. Is as much as like, okay, it'd be nice to get kind of like a high-level edge to add to the room, because Mac's going to leave, you know, at some point. But again, like, who can play this year? Like, and you're going to get guys that can do that.
Which I wouldn't be opposed to edge for the Chargers, though. They always need...
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it.
You always need a rotation on the defensive line.
Mike Green's there at 55.
You can never be too deep.
If Mike Green's there at 55, you know, like, whoo, boy, that's hard to pass, dude. Damn. A top 10 sliding all the way out to 55? Jeez. I don't want to be the GM. Because even if you've got like major scruples about, you know, character issues, like, you're starting to question that. Like, do we take a flyer?
Yeah, I mean...
Just get him in here. Just get him in here and see if we can rehab this guy's life, you know?
All right. Should we wrap it up? You got anything else?
Well, so what is your next 2 rounds prediction for the Patriots?
I mean, the Patriots still have so many needs. You got to just be taking the best player.
What do you feel? Because it's like, for me, like I just said, D tackle, tight end, maybe interior line. Wouldn't shock me. But I feel I have to give the edge to defensive tackle. Talent-wise, who's there? Defensive tight end the most.
Yeah, I would go defensive line the most.
Defensive line?
Edge or interior tackle.
For both rounds?
No, but is the biggest need. But if the safety is there, I want him. Which means they got to take edge in the 3rd round.
Okay. So, safety, D-line,
Yeah.
next 2 rounds. That's your call.
But if they don't take the safety in the second, then probably not safety at all. Just because.
Yeah, if Human Worry's not there, then if Human Worry doesn't fall.
Yeah, if he's a luxury pick, then that's cool. But
although Will Johnson, I don't think is a bad candidate. I mean, that's secondary.
Yeah.
And Will Johnson is
a third corner. They have 2 stud corners. They could use a third corner.
What kind of corners is it that the Patriots have? What body type are they? Are they small and fast ballers, or are they big physical press? Because I know Gonzalez is small, fast baller, right?
He's small, but he's all around a good corner. And then the guy they just signed from the Lions, slipping on his name, he's a bigger outside corner.
I mean, there's because here's the case. It's like Mike Evans.
So they need another slot. Right now they're just going to have Marcus Jones as their slot corner.
So for the Chargers, when we played the Bucs,
okay, he's passable, but he's not amazing.
For the Chargers, when we played the Bucs, our biggest shellacking of the year was the Bucs.
Right.
And that happened at the hands of Mike Evans, single-handedly. Our secondary had no answer for Mike Evans. They would run him into the second level of our defense, and there wasn't a guy that could match with him. It was sad.
Yeah.
The only guy we had that's big enough to do that was Cam Hart, and Cam Hart went out with a concussion. And as soon as we lost him, Mayfield and Mike Evans were like, "Ha, we got you now.
See ya."
Yeah, you don't have anybody that can stop this now." Cam Hart was a rookie, so I mean he was doing. It's not that he was eliminating Evans, but he was at least contesting it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when Cam Hart went out, we didn't have another big enough corner. We didn't have another big enough secondary piece to deal with Mike Evans. And they capitalized on it. So my point is this. Will Johnson is that guy. He's one of the few big, physical, that's why he was great as a first rounder, is because he's big. That's what he did his final year in Michigan. He's got the size to match up with big NFL receivers, the best of them. Which is hard to find. You know?
It is. It's just the Patriots have already put some resources into corner over the last few years, and
so
it would be tough if he falls to the Patriots and then, they have the decision to make. It would, because they obviously have much bigger needs.
Yeah. Yeah, Ferguson looks like he should be there. We will see. Well, guys, we're going to call it a day. But that's what we got going for the second, third rounds here.
Let's go Chargers. Draft.
Let's go Chargers. Let's go Patriots. See you Monday. Bye-bye now.